to explain.
Oh, my!
Next on ACC Live Throwback. Vince Carter is the #1 seed in Dunkuary, but is he getting enough votes from you to advance? An update on all 8 Sweet 16 matchups. Also, Chris Paul is one of the best point guards in ACC history. Wake Forest is ready to retire his jersey.
Oh, my. But that was spectacular.
3 of the best current ACC floor generals were on the court last night. Is this one of the best crops of point guards in ACC history? ACC Live Throwback is now. We want to start the show with a happy birthday. The great Dean Smith is 82 today. His life is the history of basketball. He played at the University of Kansas, where he was coached by the great Phog Allen. Of course, Allen was coached by James Naismith, who invented the game of basketball. Smith coached North Carolina to national titles in '82 and 1993. When he retired, he was the winningest coach in college basketball history. If you look at any ex-player, talk to them, they will tell you he wasn't just a coach. He was a teacher and a mentor, changed their lives. So happy birthday to Dean Smith. Welcome to ACC Live Throwback. I'm Jeff Fischel. Coming up, an ACC player makes one of the great baseball catches you'll see all season, and it's only February. It's Throwback Thursday here on ACC Live, so we'll also look back at Chris Paul's incredible college career. He's days away from receiving the ultimate honor from Wake Forest. He set the bar high for point guards. Are any current point guards playing at his level? And of course, there is Dunkuary. We announce the Sweet 16 winners tomorrow. The outcome is in your hands. You vote. You decide. Here's how you help determine the best dunk in ACC history. Go to the ACC.com/Dunkuary. With your help, we've already narrowed it to 16 dunks. You see the bracket? You click on a matchup, watch the dunks, then you vote. You'll automatically be taken to the next matchup after you vote for all 8. And this part I didn't even know about till yesterday. After you vote for all 8, you can see the vote percentages for each matchup. Voting for the Sweet 16 ends early tomorrow morning, so vote today. We will announce the 8 dunks that advance to the next round tomorrow, right here on ACC Live. I want to take a second right now to use my soapbox for a dunk that's not getting enough support, in my opinion. Gene Banks. Now, it has 2 strikes against it. The year was 1980. I know old school doesn't always do well. 2, he's going against Vince Carter, but look at that dunk over 7'4" Ralph Sampson. In fact, in Sampson's face. Right now, he's getting just about 20% of the vote. Now, I know Vince Carter is Vinsanity, but I would like to see Gene Banks pick up a few more votes today. Go to the ACC.com/Dunkuary to vote for all 8 matchups. People are already tweeting about Dunkuary. We're getting some great tweets. In fact, people are fired up about this. The Rafters, that's right, from the ACC is a bit too much fun. That's exactly the point. It is a ton of fun. And then perhaps one of the better Twitter handles I'll find today, the Keg Bar. Did you guys see that you can vote for Dunkuary? So sick. We have enough members of our Wolfpack to ensure a win. NC State, you have a couple of nominees in this one. Gavin Grant. You also have Damon Thornton. So NC State fans, get out there and vote. And look, Julius followed 24 Hodge. Julius Hodge. I don't know. Even an NC State guy says, that Ish Muhammad dunk over Engine Hudson was crazy. I was in complete awe afterwards. Ha ha ha. And I think we all are. Ish Muhammad, the number 5 seed in our bracket, getting a lot of votes. He's going up against the 12 seed, Florida State's Alexander Johnson. Also a great dunk. Get out and vote. The ACC.com/Dunkuary. Vote for all 8 matchups. Again, vote closes tomorrow morning before we head to the Elite 8 round. So get out there and vote. Tell your friends as well to vote for your favorite dunk in the history of the ACC. From the great dunks of all time to the great point guards as well, and the best of now. Arguably the top 3 point guards in the ACC were all in action last night. The Canes beat the Hokies, and Shane Larkin won the one-on-one battle with Eric Green. Larkin had 22 points on just 12 shots. He also had 4 assists and just 1 turnover. And Larkin hounded Green, the nation's leading scorer. Green played a good game, 16 points, but just couldn't get free for as many shots as the Hokies needed him to take. Next up for Miami, Duke in Cameron on Saturday. NC State point guard Lorenzo Brown had his typical productive day. 11 points, 6 assists in the Wolfpack's 82-64 win over BC. 5 NC State players scored in double figures. It's the Wolfpack's 20th win between Larkin, Green, and Brown. someone is going to be left off too many all-ACC ballots. So who's the best in the ACC right now? A lot of people are telling me the best point guard in the ACC is Shane Larkin. In fact, here's one of those tweets from James. I'm having trouble coming up with an answer that isn't Shane Larkin. I can't blame you. He's been fantastic. How about Ronald Flippin? He comes up with Lorenzo Brown, so good. Preseason, we knew coming in he would be a key for Mark Gottfried's team, and he's been solid. Even though he missed a few games with the sprained ankle, he's come back, and he's back to being Lorenzo Brown. Now, one of the all-time great ACC point guards is Chris Paul. He will have his jersey retired Saturday at Wake Forest. If you're wondering, why did it take so long? Well, remember, he has a job that keeps him, I'd say, pretty busy during the college basketball season. The ceremony will be at halftime of Wake's game against Maryland. Now, let's look at Chris Paul's incredible Demon Deacon career by the numbers. Our first number is 11. Chris Paul's jersey will be the 11th jersey ever to be retired in Wake Forest history. Some of the other retired jerseys belong to Rodney Rogers, Tim Duncan, Randolph Childress, and Muggsy Bogues. The next number, 27. In the 2004-2005 season, Chris Paul led the Demon Deacons to a school record 27 wins, including reaching number 1 in the AP poll for the first time ever. How about the number 8? Despite only playing 2 seasons in Winston-Salem, Paul is 8th in school history with 395 assists. And our final number, 30. At home, Chris Paul's teams were hard to beat. He led Wake Forest to a 30-4 record at the Lawrence Joel Coliseum, including a perfect 16-0 mark in the 2004-2005 season, and that is Chris Paul by the numbers. Now, those Chris Paul years, he wasn't the only great point guard in the ACC. It got us thinking about the great point guard years the ACC has ever had, and there have been some great ones. So let's start with that 04-05 season. Not only is Chris Paul starring for the Deacs, yes, he was fantastic, no doubt about it, but for North Carolina, you had Raymond Felton. He led the Tar Heels to a national title. And Georgia Tech, well, the Yellow Jackets had Jarrett Jack the year before. He led the Yellow Jackets to the national title game. Let's go even further back on board the Wayback Machine, 90-91. Bobby Hurley, the floor leader for the national champion Duke Blue Devils. And of course, NC State had Chris Corchiani, half of the great fire and ice combo with Rodney Monroe. Corchiani is second in the NCAA all-time in assists behind only Hurley. And the Yellow Jackets, meanwhile, that same year, oh, there he is, the lefty phenom Kenny Anderson. Now, 85-86 may be the best ever. Georgia Tech, led by the great Mark Price. Carolina, Kenny Smith. Wake Forest, Muggsy Bogues. There was also Duke's Tommy Amaker, State's Nate McMillan, Maryland's Keith Gatlin, and Grayson Marshall, Clemson's all-time assist leader. They were all there in 85-86. 74-75 was also a special year. Of course, the great Phil Ford for the Tar Heels. Who can forget him? John Lucas was the leader for the Maryland Terrapins. And of course, for NC State, the Wolfpack had Monty Tao. The ACC definitely had some great point guard classes over the years. In fact, maybe the ACC is the conference of point guards. Fans are tweeting us about the best point guard ever in the ACC. If you want in on the conversation, tweet us at the ACCDN, or you can tweet me directly at Jeff Fischel. No surprise. We're hearing from Carolina fans who, like Dean Smith, consider Phil Ford one of the great college basketball players of all time. Mike Lewis says, for my money, it's Phil Ford. He had over 2,000 career points, over 600 career assists. Marseille Mosher says the same thing. Phil Ford, hands down. He's a Tar Heel fan. Go Heels. Now, while you're watching the show right now, you can vote. You keep telling us. At the ACCDN, tell us who you think is the best point guard in ACC history. And while you're watching the show, open another tab and go to the ACCDN.com. It's been entirely revamped and updated. You can watch all of the great shows and highlights we have, including one of the great baseball catches you will ever see. Yesterday, NC State at home against New Mexico State. Watch Wolfpack center fielder Brett Williams. That is incredible. The full extension leap, the backhand catch, and the great dismount as well. Brett Williams helping the NC State Wolfpack win the game 9-2. He has my unending admiration. What a catch. Of course, we will have the best ACC baseball coverage all season right here on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Coming up, more vote totals from Dunkuary. 3 of the Sweet 16 matchups are very close. Your vote could make the difference. We announce the Elite 8 tomorrow, so don't wait.
Jordan, look at that! Holy cow! Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around, young man! What a play by Bias! Holy cow!
Out with the old and in with the delicious. Commit to bold taste with the new Flavor Resolutions menu at Ruby Tuesday. 10 entrees starting at $9.99. Try our savory barbecue brushed ribs and bacon wrapped shrimp. Or take it up a notch by adding coconut crusted shrimp to our mango salsa topped Caribbean chicken. Plus, enjoy our endless garden bar, free with any chef-inspired entree. Ruby Tuesday. It's all good here. Start the new year with savings. Visit rubytuesday.com today for a $5 coupon.
What's better, bigger or smaller?
Bigger!
So which would you rather have, a big treehouse or a small treehouse?
If it's big enough, you can have a disco. Oh, yeah.
Why do you not want a smaller treehouse?
Because it wouldn't be able to fit a flat screen TV, and then the TV would be about this big, and you would have to hold the wire. In the position you would hold the wire, you wouldn't be able to see the TV.
That's a pain in the buns.
Yeah.
It's not complicated. Bigger is better, and AT&T has the nation's largest 4G network.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Good afternoon, Chase Sapphire. This is Stacy from Springfield.
Oh,
Hello?
yes, I didn't realize you'd be talking to an actual person.
You don't need to press 0. I'm here.
Reach a person, not a prompt, whenever you call Chase Sapphire.
This Dunk of the Day brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Royal! Where was the defense? No one came over to cut off the lane.
Well, Alex Lynn actually slipped under the basket and was unable to contest that basket. And Julian Royal, seeing that, takes full advantage of it, finishes it with the two-hand flush.
Start the new year with savings. Visit rubytuesday.com to get $5 off 2 entrees.
There's Julian Royal. Welcome back to ACC Live Throwback. I'm Jeff Fischel. It's all about the dunks right now. From the dunk of the day to Dunkuary. 16 dunks remain, vying for the title. Best dunk in ACC history. The winner will be decided by you. So go to the acc.com/Dunkuary. We have all 8 Sweet 16 matchups there. Click on one, watch the dunks, and vote. Then you'll move on to the next matchup. When you voted on all 8, you can then watch the dunks again and see what the vote totals are. You can see our 116 matchup. It was Gene Banks versus Vince Carter. There's the 8-9 matchup, KJ McDaniels versus Jeff Teague. That's our 5-12, Ishmael Muhammad, Alexander Johnson. The 4-13, this one's close, Daquan Jones to Steve Francis. I know some of these matchups are close. And 2 of them actually involve NC State. Virginia Tech's Deron Washington is leading Gavin Grant by a very small margin. I think it's 52-48. And Damon Thornton taking on Len Bias. That's also close, like 55-45, something like that. So keep an eye on that. Maryland, the fans trying to drum up support for those Maryland dunks. In fact, we're hearing from Terrapin Station MD, the blog, having 12.5%. That's right, good math, Maryland Terrapin grads. They're 2 of the 16, 12.5. Going to this Dunkuary thing gives Terps fans no excuse. Go vote Bias and Steve Franchise free 3. And so let's take a look at Steve Francis and his competition, Daquan Jones, the franchise. He's only the 13th seed because he was one of my at-large bids. He lost to Len Bias as the best dunk in Maryland history, but I'm glad I got him in as an at-large bid. There's so much style there. The behind the back and then leaning in for the jam. That's a great one. He's the 13th seed going against the 4 seed, Daquan Jones. There he goes, baseline. Now, for my money, that is the most difficult dunk in the entire bracket. Daquan Jones from Miami. I almost seated him lower because he didn't get a ton of votes in our early round voting for the best dunk in Miami history. But right there, that is incredible. I couldn't seat him lower because the dunk just amazes me. So there you go. The best dunks in ACC history. Go right now to the acc.com/Dunkuary. Go to the ACC, all one word, .com/Dunkuary. Now it's time for headlines from across the conference. This is the ACC Now. Maryland Terrapins, they're thinking today, boy, we may have just lost out on our chance to get to the NCAA tournament last night. They lost to Georgia Tech 78-68. Robert Carter led the way for Georgia Tech with 19 points. Since Maryland's win over Duke, the Terps have lost 2 of 3. Duke quarterback Sean Renfree heads the ACC's all-academic football team. Last fall, he won the award for the top scholar athlete in all sports in the conference. All-Americans Jonathan Cooper, Dustin Hopkins, and Dalton Freeman are also on the all-academic team. If you want to see the full list, go to theacc.com. Mike Krzyzewski and David Cutcliffe have been named the top football-basketball coaching tandem in the conference by Athlon Sports. I guess it's hard to argue, right? Coach K has the all-time record for wins, and Cutcliffe was named the ACC Football Coach of the Year this past season after taking Duke to a bowl game for the first time in 18 years. Coach K and the Blue Devils got a big lift yesterday. Ryan Kelly practiced with the team for the first time in weeks. CBS Sports reports he was held out of 5-on-5 drills, but could be back very soon. Sorry, Blue Devil fans. That probably doesn't mean tonight, a big road test at Virginia, and Kelly may not be ready for Saturday's battle with Miami either. Another big game tonight, North Carolina at Clemson. The Tar Heels are peaking at the right time. UNC Clemson's at 7. Duke, Virginia is at 9. Women's hoops tonight, live here on the ACC Digital Network. Boston College visiting 15th ranked North Carolina. When these teams played a couple of weeks ago, Tar Heels coach Sylvia Hatchell made history, getting her 900th win. You can watch all the action live tonight, starting at 7, only on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday, and that is the ACC Now. Our closing note, the ACC has arguably the best women's soccer in the country. You know that. Fans can see just how good when they take on the pros. 4 preseason games for the Washington Spirit of the National Women's Soccer League will be against ACC teams. The Spirit takes on Duke on March 24th. Then over the following couple of weeks, the Spirit will also go against Maryland, North Carolina, and Virginia. So remember, college hoops streaming live tonight here on the ACCDN, Boston College and North Carolina. And vote for the best dunk in ACC history, theacc.com/Dunkuary. Get in your Sweet 16 vote immediately. Tomorrow at noon, I announce the Elite 8 of Dunkuary. Thank you for watching ACC Live on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.